Yo, what's good YouTube? Zamcrow here, aka Scoop, back with the March Madness 2019 tournament, and we've got our pool play matches. We're gonna have one game per video, so we're gonna have up to at least four battles for March Madness, depending on how all of the pool games go, and then potentially make it into the bracket round, which is the goal. Anyways, like I mentioned in the draft recap. We were in a pool of 10 players for our draft, and in terms of battles, we are in a pool of 5 players for battles. So we'll play each person once, and then the players with the top 2 records at the end of the tournament for pool play, which is on I think the 15th or 16th or something like that. We're gonna have 2 people advance from each of the battle pools into the bracket rounds, where we'll meet some of the open division players, some of the other all-star pool players and things like that, and get on from there. Anyways, in our pool of 5 battlers, we were matched up with Sharpedo 43, Root, John W, A12, QSD, and myself. So I know John and A12. I don't know Root and Sharpedo. Looking forward to getting to know them though. Anyways, facing off against John here, King John W, coach of the Indiana Keldios, who we've faced off against in the CPC before. So he's representing the LD here though, League Dependency I believe, or something like that. I think that's what LD stands for. And he's got a pretty scary squad of Zeraora, which is his Z move user, Latios, Pelipper, Ferrothorn, Torkoal, Victini, Victory Bell, and the Mega Swampert. Very scary squad. He's got Sun and Rain with threats like Zeraora, Latios, Victini, and then has Ferrothorn, which is annoying. So, we built a pretty fun squad here. First of all, you guys know our draft. If you don't, go check it out. I'm not going to go over it here. We bring the 6 that you see on screen: Landorus, Therian, Mega Alakazam, Infernape, Scizor, Rotom Wash, and Oricorio. And yes, that's a regular Oricorio, so I got a Firefly on top on my squad. Anyways, Landorus Therian is a careful nature. I can take 2 Hidden Power Ice from Zeraora, as long as it's not like Modest Life Orb or Life Orb in general, with special attack investment. It's very hard, so I definitely don't want to take that. However, if I lead off versus a Zeraora, I'm kind of inclined to go ahead and click Earthquake, or potentially get up my Stealth Rocks. It depends kind of what I felt like was going to be a bigger issue in my prep. Well, once we got a team matchup, is what I meant to say there. Anyways, Landorus is my designated Stealth Rock user, so he will be getting rocks up for me, hopefully keep them up. I do beat his rockers 1v1. Not necessarily Swampert or Ferrothorn. Landorus does have sets that can beat Ferrothorn, obviously. I wouldn't want to stay in on Swampert anyway, and obviously I can 1v1 a Torkoal, Barb Burns, and crits and things like that. So Earthquake will 2-hit KO a Torkoal. I do have 172 EVs in attack, which ensures that, which is very important. I've got knockoff for the Latios and the Pelipper, get rid of a potential Damp Rock, potential item on Latios, maybe wants to trick away an item, something like that. I'm always prepared for trick on Mons, hopefully. And our last move is actually Protect. Protect is to stall Sun turns. It also stalls Rain turns, potentially. Scouts for, potential Choice Scarf Latios with Ice Beam if you're still to lead with that. Glaciate Victini, and then I could switch accordingly, so on and so forth. So yeah, Landorus is really, really nice in the matchup, and can hopefully put in the work with the set we got here. We've got quite enough bulk, like I mentioned, 80 EVs in special defense, max HP, and we got 8 speed EVs, which is kind of really irrelevant. Just to avoid speed creeps of my own. If somebody's trying to speed creep me by 1 point, then I will be able to go ahead and outpace that as well. But yes, about it for Landorus. Next up, we got Mega Alakazam, which is kind of a nuke in this matchup. We're able to run a Modest Nature, and despite running a Modest Nature, technically we're kind of forced to run a Timid Nature because of the Zeraora, but I know the Zeraora will only be outpacing up to my Infernape, because Mega Alakazam naturally outpaces it. So he'll outpace my Infernape. He might even speed creep Infernape, speed creeping Victini. I'm not sure how in depth he will go with his speed creeps, but I was able to speed creep his entire squad, and I felt like he wouldn't go max speed on Zeraora, so I did just run 96 speed EVs, and I do think that'll be enough to outpace him, even with a modest nature, based on what I think he'll run with his Zeraora. Anyways, 92 special attack EVs with a modest nature simulates a max special attack timid nature Mega Alakazam. So it would look like I'm max speed, max special attack with a timid nature based on the damage output. But I'm in fact modest with only 92 EVs in special attack. Like I mentioned, 96 EVs in speed allows me to outpace where I think his Zeraora will be sliding. Obviously outpaces the Latios as well. And I have just 4 attacks. I played around with a few ideas, but I wanted to, net guaranteed knockouts on certain things, such as if he was to bring his Swampert and I traced its, rain, Swift Swim in the rain, I would be able to outpace it and 2-hit KO it with Psychic or Oko, depending on what range he's at. But Energy Ball guarantees that I knock him out no matter what. So I went ahead and threw Energy Ball on my Mega Alakazam. We got Shadow Ball there for the Latios and the Victini. His 2 Psychic resist outside of Ferrothorn. And for Ferrothorn, we do have the Hidden Power Fire. He does have the Sun. Had he brought Rain, I kind of felt like he wouldn't because I had the Rotom Wash, which better takes on Rain than it takes on Sun. So I felt he was more inclined to run the Sun, and he does have Victory Bell as well. So I felt like he would definitely be running Sun. But just in case he did bring Mega Swampert in the rain, then I wanted to have Energy Ball. But when it came to what did I want for Ferrothorn, clicking Focus Blast in the rain, it doesn't change the damage output, but rain doesn't help the accuracy, and I'm not going to miss my Focus Blast and lose a tour match. I just don't want to do that unless I'm forced to run Focus Blast. Alright, I was rudely interrupted, but I have returned. I was talking about Alakazam's coverage, and then I went on to talk about its EVs, where I have 92 EVs in special attack and 96 EVs in speed, which simulates just Mega Alakazam being super fast, outpacing his entire team. Depending on his Zeraora spread, if he's max speed Zeraora, then he will outpace me. However, I don't expect that. I expect him to be, potentially speed creeping Lottie himself, to maybe kind of gauge where my Mega Alakazam is sitting exactly. He may just creep my own Infernape and not worry about his Lottie, or he could just set his Lottie, exactly where, his Zeraora exactly where his Lottie is. So, anyways, like I mentioned, I simulate a max special attack, timid nature Mega Alakazam, but I'm actually modest, and it kind of disguises that I have so much defense and HP investment. I have 248 EVs in HP, basically max HP, and 72 EVs in defense. It's really, really nice. Could potentially avoid 2-hit KOs from U-turn from a Victini, which would be nice. And I can bop that thing with Shadow Ball. And as you see in this matchup, Psychic into Shadow Ball is literally bopping everything. And Psychic and the Hidden Power Fire, especially with the sun up, is going straight through a Ferrothorn. That being said, I guess that's about it for Mega Alakazam. We can move on to Infernape. Got a Focus Sash variant, Adamant Nature with enough speed to outpace where I think his Victini will be sitting. And I think it will be sitting, to outpace my Oricorio. And I was able to go max speed, max attack, Adamant Natured Infernape with a Focus Sash. And it's something that I could use in clutch situations, keep rocks and stuff off my side of the field, keep my Sash intact, and be able to potentially, if I'm able to outpace his Victini, he's not Choice Scarf, and he is only speed creeping my Oricorio, I should be able to outpace him, and I'll be able to, get at least 2 hits off with Shadow Claw, do significant damage. I was torn on my last few moves for my move slots. He does have Pelipper, and Swampert, which kind of, just eats up close combats and flare blitzes. So I had to run Thunder Punch for Pelipper and Grass Knot for Swampert, and then close combat was our move of choice because it better hits things like Torkoal, Zero Aura, doesn't take any recoil, things like that. And then Thunder Punch, like I mentioned, for the Pelipper, Grass Knot for the Swampert, and then Shadow Claw hits Victini and Latios, both of which resist close combat and Flare Blitz. So I felt like that was the best moveset I could come up with, and like I mentioned, rocking a Focus Sash, and basically for Infernape. It's really nice. Could potentially outpace all his mons outside of his weather boosted speed mons and Latios and Zero Aura. So that's really nice. For especially for the squad, the way we built the squad. Next up, we've got an Akaberry Scizor, max HP, max attack, with an adamant nature, U-turn, bullet punch, pursuit, and roost. Depending on the situation, I can pursuit trap things like Latios, potentially even not Ferrothorn, but Zero Aura. However, it's more inclined to have like Fire Punch or something. So we've got U-turn, which bops the Latios. Pursuit also does the same. Bullet Punch is really nice in the late game if I can weaken his mons. It was kind of an unbring, but it just had a certain way to switch into the Lottie with an Akaberry. So I felt really comfortable just bringing it anyway, despite him having a Sun team with Ferrothorn. So I stand by my bring. And then our last move is Roost. We can Roost up on Ferrothorn pretty much indefinitely. Depending on his Swampert set, we can potentially Roost up, take a hit and Roost up, and kind of waste turns of rain until, the rain's completely gone, and then we can maybe attack from there, see what he wants to do. So, that being said, our last two Pokemon are a lot more defensive, Rotom Wash and Oricorio. We've got a defensive Rotom Wash here with a little bit of speed investment with Volt Switch, Hydro Pump, Toxic, and Defog. And then we've got Oricorio, which is max HP, max Spadef with a Calm Nature, our designated answer to the Victory Bell, which otherwise murks us. And, well, outside of Alakazam, Trace, and Chlorophyll, but that could be situational as well. And then we've got the Revelation Dance, Hurricane, Roost, and Substitute. We can sub up on Ferrothorn, we can sub up on Victini, depending on what it's locked into. We can sub up on Torkoal, potentially on Victory Bell, depending on his set. If Lottie is locked into Draco and it, gets special attack drops, I can set up subs on that as well. Roost up, Hurricane, Revelation Dance really puts him to work. So, oh yeah, and with Victory Bell being such a big issue, I did decide to bring a Rindo Berry on my Rotom Wash. Or could potentially come in handy there. Anyways, we can hop into the match now, and I see that he only brings Torkoal and Ferrothorn, so this is, this inclines me to lead off with my Landers and see what he wants to do. He does lead off with his Zero Aura, which is actually perfect for me. I can just click Earthquake and see what kind of damage I can do here. Also, if he led with the Latios, I can click Protect, see if he goes for Ice Beam. He could be a potential Choice Scarf Ice Beam to catch a Choice Scarf Landorus off guard. He could have led with Ferrothorn, and this would have allowed me to get my rocks up, which significantly beats I know it does a lot to my Oricorio if he was to get his rocks up and I got my rocks up, but he's got two mons that are weak to rocks, Victini and Torkoal, which are very important, especially Torkoal. And Torkoal being his form of removal versus my Landers, it just isn't optimistic. So, here, I contemplated getting my rocks up or just clicking Earthquake, and getting damage off was more important in this scenario for me, just to kind of scout his set, potentially break a Shukaberry, and if he predicts me to predict his Hidden Power Ice and go my Rotom, and he makes an over prediction or something like that, then I'll be in a really solid position. So I'm just going to click Earthquake here, as he does go for the Hidden Power Ice, and he is not Life Orb, so he's actually not going to be able to 2-hit KO me. And he goes for Hidden Power Ice again here, and we do survive comfortably again, and we get our rocks up. So it's fantastic for us. And predicting, well, not really predicting anything, but I knew he wouldn't go for Hidden Power Ice again, as something like Fire Punch could knock us out. And If we went into our Rotom, we don't really gain anything. And if we went into our Scizor, we'd have taken the Fire Punch. So I went into my Mega Alakazam predicting the Hidden Power Ice or the Fire Punch, and he does go for the Fire Punch. We eat it up pretty okay, and we can just fire off a Psychic here and see what he wants to do. He was not in range of Shadow Ball or Hidden Power Fire at that range with Zeraora. So he brings in his Ferrothorn here, takes almost no damage from Psychic, and I'm going to go into my Oricorio. I don't want to just click Hidden Power Fire yet. He's not quite in range. So I'll go out into my Oricorio as he clicks Power Whip. So good play by me. I'm able to double out into my Scizor, predicting his Lottie to come in. Best case scenario if I went for Revelation Dance. So I'm able to catch him here with Scizor, and I can just U-turn out as I do have the Aqua Berry, and he reveals the Hidden Power Ice or Fire, popping my Aqua Berry, and reveals the Tanga Berry as well, so he doesn't take super effective damage from that U-turn there. And I'm able to bring in my Mega Alakazam though, force out the Lottie with, and I go for Shadow Ball here, so it does more than Psychic did, and now I can just go for the Hidden Power Fire. But my opponent's going to call that, and he's going to go out into his Victini pretty comfortably there, and it takes nothing. I go out to my Scizor, just sacking it off, but he just U-turns, so really good for me. However, he is able to get his rocks up now, and at the same time he'll be able to remove my rocks if he so chooses. He does get his rocks up. I am going to defog because rocks, like, I can eliminate his rocker and then get my rocks up later with, you know, him not having rocks. So I'm going to Toxic him here. He gets his rocks back up. I'm just going to defog once again as he goes into the Victory Bell. So this is where things get scary. This is a huge threat, and he does have 3 extra turns of Sun. I'm going to just Volt Switch out because I do have the Rindo Berry as he subs up. So really scary, but I do have Oricorio here as he goes for the Sludge Bomb. It doesn't do half despite him having a Life Orb, and I'm able to break his sub, and I should force him out here. And he goes out into his Latios once again as we roost up. A little bit scary. We're going to switch back out into our Scizor, see what he wants to do, and he just recovers up. Really tough for us, but we are going to get him back in range to where, you know, close to about where he was with the Bullet Punch. So that's really nice. We can bring out our Mega Alakazam once again and just click Shadow Ball, see what our opponent wants to do. He does go into the Ferrothorn once again. And here he's going to reveal Protect. So he scouts for my Hidden Power Fire again. Not only that, he gets a little bit of leftovers back. He goes back out into his Victini, calling my every play. This man's tough. We're going to switch out to our Rotom Wash though as he goes for U-turn once again. We're not in range of U-turn. We just don't want to take the damage yet because it could come in, you know, play later in the match. So yeah, he goes for the Leech Seed here. Leech is my Oricorio. I'm just going to double out into my Landers, predicting Protect, or a double of his own. And he does just click Protect there as we get in our Landers and able to get back up our rocks as he just clicks Leech Seed, which was a awesome play because it puts him back to full basically here as we bring back in Oricorio and we click sub here as our opponent goes for the Protect. I knew he would try to get back to full there with his leftovers, so I took the opportunity to bring in Oricorio and sub up on his Protect. And I could roost on this turn, but if he brings in his Latios on my roost, then I don't really gain anything, and I can just click Hurricane here. As he goes out into his Lottie, Hurricane did 39 earlier, and we miss. Really unfortunate, but we're going to go for it again. And we do land. We land when we don't need it to. We do nice 36% there, and we're actually going to land again as he roosts up, and we land, you know, 39% on that turn. Really unfortunate that we missed that, but it's Pokemon, what can you do? He reveals Calm Mind though, so I know I got to go hard into my Infernape and see what he wants to do. He does roost up once again, and my play was to click Shadow Claw there and just keep him in range of Mega Alakazam because I was Sash. However, he goes out to his Ferrothorn, and thinking I'm locked into Shadow Claw potentially, he goes hard for Leech Seed or an attack there, and I'm able to knock him out with close combat. However, he does revenge kill me with the regular Latios. However, he is still in range of Shadow Ball from Mega Alakazam, so I can just fire it off here. He does decide to sack off his Torkoal, which was something I should have thought about during the match here. I should have never Mega Evolved unless I was faced up against Zeraora, which was actually the reason that I did have to Mega Evolve because of that certain matchup. I had to come in and revenge kill the Zeraora, and unfortunately had to Mega Evolve to do that. Had I not been matched up against Zeraora though, I would not have ever Mega Evolved. And then once I was matched up against the Victory Bell, that's when I would Mega Evolve so I could trace its Chlorophyll. Because it could have came in right here and outsped me. But if I wasn't Mega, I could just Mega Evolve on the turn that he comes in, trace his Chlorophyll, and still outspeed him. Very interesting thing about Mega Alakazam and the trace ability. Anyways, he brings in the Victini to revenge kill me here. And it's kind of coming down to the wire here. As he goes for the blue flare, and in the sun it does 44%, way too much. So I'll go out into my Oricorio, which takes, you know, less than 40%, close to 35, and I can roost back up here. What I'm gonna do though, predicting his Latios to come in, I'm gonna Mega or double into my Mega and get back in Mega Alakazam here and force my opponent to either lose another Mon or lose his Latios. So he does decide to lose Zeraora, and I can understand why. And now he brings back in his Victory Bell, which behind the Chlorophyll puts him in a really good position. But he's able to snag the poison here. Didn't really matter, it was a 2-hit KO regardless. But it was unfortunate to see. I had to click Revelation Dance there. Had he, you know, did anything else and I missed a Hurricane in the sun or anything like that, I would have been in a bad situation. Anyways, I traced the Chlorophyll, outpaced the Victory Bell, knock it out, bring in, he brings in Victini, he goes for Blue Flare. However, I was out of range of that. I thought he might U-turn into, lock himself into Zen Headbutt or something, but he doesn't. He just stays in, goes for the Blue Flare, and we're able to knock him out and then knock out the Mega, or excuse me, I keep saying Mega. Able to knock out the regular Latios there to win the match 2-0 in a nice 45 turn battle to open up the March Madness pool play for myself and the Blackmont Raikougars. So that was really fun. Good game to John and his Indiana Keltios. Good luck the rest of the tour, my man. And that's going to be it. So let me know what you guys thought about the prep and the plays on both sides of the field. Speaking of the prep on both sides of the field, John prepped in 5 minutes, and I matched that and prepped in 5 minutes as well. And we played a phenomenal game to have 5-minute prep, in my opinion. So yeah, it's gonna be that. And I'll see you guys next time on the the next installment of the March Madness videos. So this is pool play number 1. We've got 3, 4. This is number 1. We've got 2, 3, and 4 left. So look out for those when they come. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.